Welcome back to the HOF College Football Picks, Parlays, and Predictions. Super excited for this. We're going to be going through some straights and some parlays for week one. Brian, how are you feeling for this week?
Man, I'm pumped. Football's back. The long wait is over. We suffered through MLB season, or battled through, shall I say. But now we got a brand new web app. Same tools that you know and love from the mobile HOF app now on your computer. So really easy to use. Excited to show you guys and lab here today. But yeah, let's get the picks started. What you got for your first straight, Aiden?
Yeah, I got Boise State money line. And yeah, like Brian said, guys, this tool makes it so quick and easy to research your picks, and that's how we do it, combining with also, watching and reading up on the games. But jumping into this Boise State pick, they won 86% of their games last season, had a phenomenal season. And they're returning their quarterback, who led their offense. Their offense in particular was super strong, very high ranking. And they face USF, who only won 50% of their home games. So while Boise State is on the road, and USF will be a tough task in week one, very confident that they can get it done.
Yeah, I love that pick. Boise State, like you said, had a great year last year. They are losing Ashton Genty, which is obviously they're like the engine of their offense, but I do believe they got some new pieces to replace it. They have the same coach, like you said.
Moving to my second pick now, I have Cal plus 5.5 from the Bay Area, so maybe slightly biased here, but I thought Cal had a relatively decent season, or at least started well last season. Um, you know, while they didn't win like every single game, they were definitely in majority of their games, except for maybe the last two or three. Um, and yeah, covered the spread in 77% of games, really strong. And they face Oregon State, who failed to cover in it was, let me see here, 80% of games of their last 10, or 8 of their last 10 at the end of the season. And in one of those games, of course, we saw the head-to-head matchup between Cal and Oregon State, and they beat them by 37.
Love this pick. Like you said, smoked them by 37 points last year. I think plus 5.5. It's a steal and got to represent for your home state, right? So
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying, bro. That's
gotta
the
gotta
local
ride with
team.
them.
All right. So yeah, those are my picks, Brian. Super curious and excited to see what you've got for us for week one.
For my first pick, I'm going to the game that we'll all be watching this Saturday. We got Texas versus Ohio State. I'm going with the Arch Manning prop, under 236 and a half yards. I think this line, it's a fair line, given that he hasn't started very many games. As you can see here, not too much data to go off of, which I think serves to favor us in this situation, just in that this is a huge game for the kid. Number one ranked overall team so far, and they're playing Ohio State, number three ranked overall. They're playing them on the road. As you can see here, the Ohio State defense, strong rankings across the board. I think it's going to be tough for him to kind of settle in a little bit. They lost Matthew Golden to the draft last year, and I think he'll need some time to adjust. I do think he'll be close to this line, but I think he's staying under. For my second pick, on the note of going with home teams, I'm going with my alma mater, University of Michigan. They're playing New Mexico. They're at home, and the spread is minus 34 and a half. So I'm actually taking the third quarter spread at minus 7.5. I will say that being a Michigan fan over the past few years, sometimes we do come out hot. However, we always come out hot after halftime, after the adjustments have been made, especially on a team against a team like New Mexico that really struggles just kind of across the board. I don't really see them getting much going against this Michigan team here. We got a lot of high profile recruits, and the big house is going to be jumping. I think that's an easy play.
I like it. I always like plus money, and yeah, really strong pick here.
Onto the parlay I've built here today. I'm going to stick with the Big Ten for the first leg. I'm going with Indiana here. The even line spread is at minus 23 and a half. I like it against Old Dominion, but I think I'm going to take a alternate spread here. I'm taking 16 and a half. That's two touchdowns and a field goal. I think it's very doable for Indiana. Last season in their home opener, they won by 24 points against, a similar kind of FCS team, I believe that is. And then in that second game, you see they won by 74. So they come out the gate swinging right away. If you look at, put this filter on for home games, even better. They're covering, more than half of the games here. Especially against a defense like Old Dominion. You see their competition's weak, and even so, low rankings across the board. Indiana offense and defense, both just outpacing pretty greatly. So this is going to be my first leg, and then moving onto my second leg, I got Akron versus Wyoming. I believe Akron is the even line. It's 6.5. I'm taking them at 13.5 for minus 200. They covered this line almost every single game after the second half of the year last year. Um, Especially in home games, they've covered this line in every home game last year. I do also want to call out the Wyoming side of the spread at minus 13.5. They never covered this line at all last season. Um, yeah, this is the alt spread, but as you can see in their wins, they were marginal. I'm gonna add it to the parlay as well, and then as you can see, we got my two picks here, and then it is at a plus 106, so about even money. Now onto your parlay. What you got cooking?
Cool. Yeah. So I have another two leg. I think playing it more safe, guys, in week one and probably week two, just because we want to see more data from this season. It's great to look back to last year, but with the transfer portal, we want to be a bit more cautious. And I have Booth from Mississippi State, anytime touchdown. In terms of Booth, he hit in 75% of games last season. Southern Miss, a really poor rushing defense, just defensively in general, really poor, allowed a lot of touchdowns. And then if we go over to Booth's red zone carries, he dominated the zone carries last season for Mississippi State, having over 47%. So 2.9 red zone attempts per game. So yeah, now for the second leg, I have Nicholas Singleton, over 59.5 rushing yards, hit in 75% of Penn State home games last season, ended the season really strong as well. And he faces Nevada, who have a really weak rush defense, allow lots of yards to running backs. So yeah, I think it's a very favorable matchup. And then in terms of his carries, averaged roughly 30% of the carries for Penn State last season. And in a game where they're likely to dominate, where's the ball going to be? It's going to be on the ground. So there's going to be plenty of touches going around. And I think Singleton will have a big game because of that. Yeah, and in terms of like in the parlay optimizer, what I liked was just looking especially towards the last five. They both ended the season pretty strong, hitting in for the last five. And then, of course, over the length of last season, around plus 100. And if we go into FanDuel, we'll see this is being offered at plus 105. So, yeah, I really like the value here. Anyways, guys, those are our week one college football picks, parlays, and predictions. For those of you interested in using this great platform that we've been using today, HOF, use the link in the description and use code HOFYT to get 50% off your first month. Anything to add before we go, Brian?
No, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Remember, this is on a weekly basis, so come back, check us out for NFL as well, and we'll see you guys next time.